Ganyan pala, oh. Meron daw dito eh.
They keep changing it.
Hindi yung lab.
Did you say upstairs? Wait, didn't the lady
Ano
ask
muna
you
ito?
free hot coffee?
Hot coffee tayo sa chocolate.
I want water. I just water.
Ah. Parang NorQuest, oh. Let's go na.
Are we going to the lab?
Yeah, punta tayo sa lab. Tapi dito, free coffee ng donut daw. Ito muna tayo dito, free coffee ng donut.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Ano ba yan? Ah. So ito sa rin magiging ano mo yung yun yung
Study area?
sa akin yung ano yung cafeteria, yeah. Natin dito, ano to? Ito.
Hello po.
Hello.
Nakapag-inquire na po ba kayo? Have you inquired?
Naka-enroll siya sa healthcare aids for coming spring.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Tinitingnan lang namin yung school.
Okay. May tour kami. Gusto niyo ba ng tour?
Tour?
Opo. No?
Hindi siguro.
Kasi may tour kami. Kung gusto niyo mag-tour, yung corner doon, pag marami ng tao, itutour nila kayo sa buong college.
Okay.
Na-explore niyo na ba ang bookstore as well?
Hindi pa. Saan ba yun?
Di ba yung Aide atrium po. Meron nakalagay doon sa may bandang side, ang pangalan niya, The Core. Baka interesado sila kasi merong mga parang related to gaming sessions and stuff.
Okay. Sige,
Pwede
punta
niya
namin.
explore.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you po.
Okay.
When you were diagnosed with it like
Yun na. No, water dun. NorQuest. So kung ano, akit tayo dun, no? Ito yung ano. Okay.
This is their library?
Yeah, that's their bookstore. This is where you buy the book.
How much does that cost?
Huh?
This is high school.
Yeah. Kasi kung you wanna ano, upgrade. Ano yun? Ito. Ito.
Please let us know if you have any questions.
Ito. So yung Shari yung bookstore mo. Okay, you wanna go upstairs?
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah, yeah. Yun natin.
That's if you're a student. So that's our KBA program.
We do that in person, but also online. This has a list of everything available in the library. So we have a lot of different supports there for students, including help with research in the library. And then there's also free tutoring.
Free tutoring?
Free tutoring, yeah, for any program. And it's free information. So yeah, we'll meet with you one-on-one, or if you have other class information about the tutoring. The library like different strategies. It's not. It's actually that's the bookstore. The library is actually right over there. So
Oh,
you
there.
can go around the corner and you can go through and see what it's like.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, thank you very much.
Can I rest for a bit?
Huh?
Can you go get
ganda. Ayan tayo pa. Huwag ka na mag... Between ka yung library, oh. Saka yung library, oh. This is their library. Okay. We'll check here. So what's that now? Where's Angel? Saan si Angel?
Are you looking for anything?
So the Valorant, Apex, Tekken, Street Fighter, NBA 2K, FC 25, Marvel Rivals. I think are the other two.
But yeah, feel free to take
Oh, esports.
information packet.
But yeah, there's a lot. There's not. I think
You can take multiple. Your heart design.
if you really want to,
Sorry.
here's some more information. If you scan the QR code, it'll actually take you to our website, and it'll have like all our titles there. And then you can also join our Discord. That has even more information. And you can contact us on it. Yeah. And then
Right.
feel free to grab some stickers. Absolutely.
Are these like games?
Yeah, they're Valorant games. And they're doing like school and like everyday activities. And then
I know, I'm just
as a
I'm just waiting.
student here, you can also do drop-in gaming. As you know, so like that's what all the computers are for. So like, yeah, so that's what's so awesome about our program is that we're actually so like our school, like the college actually fully supports us.
It's the only university college in Edmonton that has an esports program.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
esports.
see that.
Wow, right.
'Cause all the other universities care about like their academics.
Exactly.
Ah.
Like they still have esports, but they're like only clubs that do basketball. So yeah, only one in the city, and I think only one of like 4 in the province.
Wow, wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no worries.
Saan Sarah? Hey, Sarah! Sarah! Dito ba tayo? Let's go there.
I tried and I
You go by the days that they do. You have Apex.
Hey!
busy already. Good? Yeah.
Working here in the Wellness Center, we provide support to the people who is a student here with social workers, psychologists, nurses, and people who work in violence prevention and the pride group. We are all together. Do you want to take something from us, like to have some information? Yeah, come on in. So you can, if you can take these buttons for the pride group, you can also spin the wheel and you can see at the end the pamphlets about the support that we provide for the students, okay? So if you want something from here, you can take.
Grab a leaflet. We would like to see more people participating in our program. It's for everybody, allies and public members.
Yeah, you can spin the wheel.
Financial.
Okay, so what do you do to improve your financial?
Nothing. I'm in school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do to improve the financial?
Save more money.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
good. Okay. So this is basically the support that we provide.
Okay.
And then, do you want to take something? Like
Okay.
a candy or a pen? Or
Okay. Maybe a pen.
Okay,
Right.
that's good. Okay.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Let's go to the healthcare aid, ano. Doon tayo, ano. Okay. Okay, maybe here. Ito. May kainan din pala dun. Ayan. Ayan.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Where's the lab for, ano, healthcare aid? Ito, server yun ito. Volunteer check. Dito. Practical nurse. Hindi dito, man. Yeah, akit pa tayo. Let's go upstairs more. Water?
Yeah.
Right. Ano ba kakain mo lang?
Go outside.
So this is the second floor. I would like to show you some of the classrooms that they use in here. And then we move to the other building because there are more classrooms and we can get it.
Hi, is there a room for healthcare aid?
Yes, there is actually. Let me just see where it is. It's upstairs.
Oh, upstairs. Sorry.
Room 3172. If you
3172.
take the stairs, there's somebody in a shirt like mine. They can direct you.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, let's go upstairs. Healthcare aid. Hi.
Can I help you?
We're looking for the healthcare aid class.
This would be the one, and it will start at 11:15.
11:15, okay, thank you.
Three.
And now you see it's working.
Check.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. So I need to go into Edge clear something.
Clear your browser cache. The browser clear whatever things you don't have. It doesn't have the right version of access. It just happens.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to our information session for healthcare aid. I'm just going to
plan so the folks at home can see it. So to the folks at home, there is a chat room on the right-hand side of your screen, and it is separated from chat to question and answer. I'm just going to move over here so you can probably see. Yeah. Hi to the folks at home. On your screen, it's mirrored. On this side of your screen, there should be a chat room where you can just send your chat messages, and then there should be a question and answer session, and we will be answering them at the end of our session, or unless they come up, it's applicable, we can answer them. So right now you should be able to see a red screen from home. If this is not making sense to you, or you can't hear me and you see me waving my arms, did you ask them in the chat if they could? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Roxanne Thompson. This is Vincy Benjamin. Come on in. Yep. Have a seat. So we are healthcare aid instructors for the theory, just like a classroom, just like this. There's several kinds of deliveries which we will cover with our presentation.
Welcome to this program. I hope you enjoy getting all that information. So if you need more information, there is a booth down there for the healthcare aid program, and there is a lab room upstairs where you can go look around and see. That's one of the labs that we use to teach this program. It's one of the finest and the best programs in Canada that you will receive for this program. Like NorQuest healthcare aid program is the best one. Okay. So yeah, I'll hand over to Roxanne.
Okay. So first we'll do our Treaty 6 land acknowledgement. Okay, so I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional lands referred to as Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Aide region number 4. This land is home to many diverse groups of indigenous peoples, including the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Sulu, Lakota Sioux, Inuit, and Métis. I also acknowledge that the city of Edmonton and all the people here are beneficiaries of Treaty 6, which encompasses the traditional territories of numerous Western Canadian First Nations as well as the Métis, who have called these lands home since time immemorial. Okay, so about the program, why NorQuest College? Well, to start bigger, NorQuest College offers non-competitive admission, which means it's a first come, first serve. Speaking of which, today, some of you may have already known, there's like a QR code right by the elevators. You can enter to win your $1,000 tuition back. Also, because if you enroll today, you get one free application for one program. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's more than one way to meet admission requirements. Most programs allow assessment testing to meet these requirements, and some conditional admission is we also work with the community to see what the community needs, and then we build our programs around that. So we value workforce relevance, which is programs developed with partners in industry, business, and the public sector. Work experience, we offer work experience, practicums, and clinical placements. We have small class sizes, it's a typical size, and instructor to student ratios are low in the lab as well as on clinical. And we also have open studies, so some courses are available as open studies before you are accepted into your program. Laddering, prior learning assessment, and transfer opportunities. So So in the future, we are working towards opportunities for diploma graduates and transferring credits to other institutions. Also, we have student support services. So you have lots of resources here as a student. We have the Center for Growth and Harmony that's on the main floor. It's our health services. So there's counseling for students, lots of resources. We have the Indigenous Student Center that's also on the main floor. International Student Services, academic supports, we have that in the library. We have student advisors, program advisors. We have tutorial and academic coaching services in the library. We have WIL, so Work Integrated Learning and Career Education Center. Then lots of campus involvement. We have Students' Association. We have RBC Student Ambassadors, RBC Indigenous Mentorship Program. We also have international peer support. So let's get into healthcare aides specifically. What do healthcare aides do? What kind of work where do they work? So probably you already know healthcare aides work in long-term care, supportive living, home care, group homes, hospitals, mental health facilities. And some of our clinicals, like for example, the first clinical will be in supportive living, then we'll go to long-term care, and then it's possible one of long-term care or in the hospital. So as you go through the program, you will be placed at one of these sites. What else do healthcare aides do? Well, we work with a lot of equipment to help people that maybe need some assistance. Ambulatory, promoting independence, comfort, compassion, those are the principles of our program. Helping people, assisting at meals, making sure that the diet's appropriate for them. So you would look at their client care plan and make sure that you're checking things. Then some basic grooming and hygiene assistance. So even in our labs, you really will cut each other's nails in lab, nails. You really will comb each other's hair. Though we do keep like the body private, but you will be hands-on with each other in the lab upstairs. And then when you get out to clinical, you really will be washing people, brushing their teeth, doing personal care with them, and also promoting independence. So medication. Students in their second semester, we build on the skills in the first one. So in the second semester, we say that you are adding complex care. So things like vital signs, oxygen therapy, medication. Okay, and then we're always working with lifts and safety. So you really will, in our labs, if you go up to our lab there, you'll see that we have lifts and real hospital beds that as students you'll be using. So you will be a patient, you will be a healthcare aide role, and you can also be an observer role. Here's some vital signs equipment, you can check that out upstairs. And wound care also is there. Hello, welcome, have a seat. Okay, so employment, about $19 to $25 per hour. Depending on where you work, sometimes you can belong to, if your place is unionized or if they have some kind of contract for shift differential. My apologies, this thing keeps switching. It's on the timer. I didn't think it would do this. So if you work evenings or weekends, you get a little bit more. Sometimes it can be even $4 more per hour that way. But the work varies depending on your responsibilities, your experience, your training. There's over 1,000 new positions created each year. It is a high demand field across the province. There's high rates of employability upon graduation, and students are often hired before completing their program. So, program delivery. So how do we deliver the program? If you are sitting in a classroom like this, we would say that that's full-time delivery, like the face-to-face. We also have online delivery. We also have workplace, we have high school, we have regional, So there's many different areas all over the province that, even though NorQuest is downtown here, we have lots of other kinds of way that we deliver the program. And there was a question online about workplace, I think. Is it will or workplace? So workplace, in case some of you are healthcare aides, if you all have a healthcare aide role, it's possible to enroll in our workplace program where whoever your agency and NorQuest work together, and so you can continue working wherever you are, and then someone at your site will be able to monitor you, and so you can go through the program that way and get your certificate that way. Okay, so focus areas, aging and chronic conditions for our population, cultural competence and diversity. Actually, on our 4th floor, we have a simulation, the Olson Center. It's a simulation lab, and we have lots of scenarios that students get to engage with. We actually hire real actors, and it's all part of your program. So it's like a morning or an afternoon you go and you get to care for a few people, but then we put some scenarios that you can experience what it's like to really talk to a person other than your classmates sitting next to you. Sometimes in lab you get a bit comfortable, and so when we actually have a real person that's talking to you, it adds to your learning that way. So lots of students like that experience. We also cover palliative care, end of life care, mental health, and caring for people that have dementia, and then digital literacy. So the field has changed where now you need what's called connect care. So we make sure that before you go to your clinical, because that's needed at clinical, that you're all set up with your training. So we handle that. You go to an EHS site, you get your connect care training, among other digital literacy training, and then you're set to go for that. What's unique about our program? We're one of the largest and most recognized healthcare aid programs in Canada. Employers value NorQuest College graduates. So we've made a name for ourselves in the field because we're popular. We have flexible delivery options. For example, I said we have in-person like this. You can also study online. Now the thing about online is you still have to come physically to our labs, okay? So you have to show up, but everything else is kind of a self-study. So you can go through the programs that way. Yep, and then we also have part-time evening. So it's just a classroom like this. It's still face-to-face with your instructors, but it's only in the evening. And then we also have a place out in the Tasman. We have dual credit. So actually, if a high school is offering healthcare aid program through NorQuest College, then high school graduates can also graduate. There's a joke, you can graduate college before you graduate high school because they can go through the program through their school, as well as go through their normal high school program. So we kind of separate it that way. We are, I mentioned earlier, workforce relevant curriculum. So we work with the government. The government dictates our curriculum, but they make changes depending on what's needed. For example, they can add more mental health. They can add, for example, in the time I've been here, we've added vital signs where before it was just placing a cuff and hitting the digital. Now healthcare aides are using the stethoscope and taking blood pressure that way. So little changes like that, depending on what's needed in the workforce. More and more is placed on healthcare aides to expand their scope. Workplace education. So as I mentioned before, if you're currently working as a healthcare aide or in an equivalent caregiving position, you can check out our workplace. Actually, if you have more questions about that, you can email healthcareaid@norquest.ca, all one word. But you can also go down to our booth on that side of the floor. We have our booth set up, and they can answer more questions about that. So we have program breakdown. So there's theory hours. Often when you look at programs, they go by theory, lab, and clinical. So we have 223 hours in the classroom that you're going to do. So we divide them up in the first semester and second semester. So you will have 4 classes typically to finish if you're full-time, and then 2 classes after in the classroom for theory. Lab hours, they're scattered throughout the courses. So that's, again, where you have to come upstairs and do your lab that way. And this is not for like regional. Regional, we have things set up. Actually, we just have this trailer set up. So if you imagine a big trailer, and we put beds in there. And so when you walk in, it really looks like you're in a long-term care or a hospital. So we built things like that to help students out who are in regional areas to get that full experience of rooming, like as though they were in the lab that way. And lifts fit in there, med carts fit in there, working beds, all of that with the curtains and windows. We also have clinical hours. So 320 hours is divided into 3 clinical practicums. So you first go out for 2 weeks, then you go out for 4 weeks, then you go out for 2 weeks again. So that's how your 3 clinical placements are. And then, so here are the 4 theory courses. Each of the ones in yellow will have an exam that you have to get 70% on to move on to the next portion. So you have to pass all 4 exams, and then you can go out to your first clinical. And then that one is 2 weeks. So you will be with an instructor and your other classmates, so it's instructor-led. You'll be hands-on with working with real people out in the field. And then that's 2 weeks, you come back, you do 2 more theory classes. These ones aren't as long as those ones. And then you pass both of these exams with a minimum of 70%. Then you're allowed to go to your 4-week clinical, and that is long-term care, and you are out hands-on, you're caring for people, you have assignments to do, and so we build upon that. And then once you graduate from that, then you can go into your last clinical. And so this is when now it's not instructor-led, you're out working with staff, and you really take on the role that way. So we kind of build upon so that when you graduate, you're work ready that way. Okay. Clinical practice experience. Oh, I just repeated myself. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 2 weeks that way. If you are in full-time or in-person and online, we have start times in September, January, and May. We just started changing the online to 8 months because before in-person was 8 months and online was 1 year. Now we've scooted that back, so now people that do online, they can do it for 8 months as well. So it is, if you are in full-time, just like you are now, it will be Monday to Friday, about 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It says 5 p.m. Now, for the students that I'm working with right now on Monday, that's not like full-time all the time. We just say put that time aside because we can schedule you at any of those hours. For example, the students that I'm working with right now, on Mondays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., that's their only class with me. So it's not that they're there always 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that could be an example. But let's say on Tuesday, they could have lab in the morning and class in the afternoon. Okay, so we're saying set this time aside so that you know how much it's going to take. But this is not including your study hours. Okay, so if you're full-time, there's a lot of outside of class that you have to take, time that you have to take to study and keep up with it. Okay. Evening in person, same thing, started in September and in January. It's 12 months. So Monday to Thursday are typically your evening classes. They don't have Friday evening classes. This one is for sure. So you will always be here from 6 to 9 Monday to Thursday. But then some of your labs will be on Fridays or Saturdays that way for part-time evening. Online, we have start times in September, January, and May. This is 8 months. All learning is online, so you will not have an instructor sitting with you online to have any kind of online course. Pretty much you're doing it on your own at your own pace. However, you do have an instructor to ask questions to. Sometimes they'll make weekly recordings, like a summary, but it's not like an online class, okay? And so we have, so for all students, again, you have mandatory labs that you have to go to up here. So some of the requirements to get into this program, language arts, so 60%, and like English 20-2. Or you can have an AccuPlacer exam at NorQuest College, so we also have that here. your English language proficiency requirements. If English is your second language, then you have to have proof of your ELP before admission, and your test results must have been obtained within 2 years of when you want to start the program. Acceptable evidence of your ELP may be one of the following test scores. So one of the following. So you can get an IELTS academic of 6. Nothing can be below 5.5. TOEFL 71. Duolingo 95. And then in here, no section score below 7. So for domestic students, it's about 8,600. International, it's 20,000. That's as current as this month. Other costs, though, on top of this would be about $500. So you will have to buy your own scrubs. We sell them at the bookstore. The scrubs that we sell at the bookstore are mandatory to wear when you go out to clinical. But if you have scrubs that, you just have them, because maybe you can wear those in our labs. So up in lab, you can wear whatever scrubs you want, as long as they don't have like other logos on them and such. But you do have to buy our NorQuest College scrubs when you go to clinical. You will have to buy your books and your lab skills guide and your textbooks and the learner guide and all of that. You will have to pay for your police information check. You are going to be working with vulnerable people, so you need to get that done. And so these are like mandatory things that are needed before we send you out to clinical. So if you don't get that done, then actually you will not progress going to clinical. It will be delayed. And if that's the case, then we have someone that can help you through when you can restart the program again if some of these are delayed or didn't get done. Sometimes that happens. Immunizations, you will have to get your immunizations up to date. Like for example, now in the news, it's a lot of measles cases, right? So you are going to have to get that vaccination if it's not up to date. Courses for clinical requirements. So on top of that, we also offer your basic life support, so your CPR course, your WHMIS, so Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System, because when you go to work, there's going to be lots of chemicals and such, so we want to make sure that you're safe. So it's a course that we offer here that is mandatory for you to take. Bloodborne pathogens, because you're going to be you're going to be exposed to bodily fluids, so you need to be educated on what to do in the process with that, protocol with that. So these are like $40, $40 courses. Some of them are $100 depending where you go. So these are all on top of the tuition, so it's not included with tuition. Some students will say make sure, their tips for you are to make sure you have that money set aside so that as you're in school, you can focus on school. You're not worried about where you're going to pay your next, where you're going to get your money from, because that can add to your stress while you're in school. So do make sure that you have funding set up for this. Required for graduation. So NorQuest College has your certification. However, we also work with the province through the Healthcare Aide Directory. And so once you pass your last clinical placement, then you will have to write a provincial exam. And so that's not for NorQuest College, although we do work as a team partner with them. So there is a provincial exam through the Healthcare Aide Directory. And once you finish your program, so let's say you were to start in April, so you'll be done in December, 60 days, so next January, February, you should write this provincial exam. You have about three times to try to do that. Each time also costs money, okay? And so that's paid through the HCA Directory. It's $200 per sitting. So every time you want to take that exam, that's for people that maybe they didn't pass the first time, and then they have still within those 60 days. So you don't have 60 days each time. You only have 3 attempts within 60 days. Okay, so important questions to ask yourself. Do you have a clear criminal record? Okay, I just mentioned you need police information check. Are you able to bend, squat, and lift up to 40 pounds? This job is very physical, so you're on your feet, you need good shoes, you need to always practice good body mechanics. So that one of the courses, the extra courses that was on the other screen is an It's Your Move course. That one is free, but it educates you on how to use your body that way. Oh, okay. Are you comfortable giving close personal care to both males and females? So in lab, of course, we keep our bodies private, but you will have to work with different classmates, so that's the first thing. But when you go to clinical, you will actually be touching people. You will actually see people taking a shower. You will actually have to be touching them, doing care on them. Okay, so even though we don't do that in lab, you will have to do it on clinical. So we ask, are you comfortable being close to people like that? Are you able to read the print on prescription bottles? Because part of your role is to give medication. And so are you able to see that? Are you able to be on your feet for 8 to 12 hours per day? It's a lot of walking, a lot of moving, working at the bedside, walking from room to room, using lifts, using equipment, giving showers, and such. Clinical practicum starts at 6:45 if you're on day shift. We also have evening shift. For example, the students that I'm taking out in a couple of weeks, they have evening shift that starts at 2:45 p.m. and we don't get out of there until 10:45, 11 p.m. for the week. And then the next week we're back to days, so they will show up at 6:45 a.m. and we will leave at 2:45 p.m. So you have to be able to accommodate that. Sometimes they ask about children and childcare. Some daycares don't open until 6:30, so you have to be at clinical. If you're out scheduled for day shift, you have to be there for 6:45. You have to think that I have to be there to work. So are you able to manage that within your personal schedule? And some of these sites we try to give you the best we can, but it depends on what sites are available. So are you willing to travel that distance to get in there? Are there seats left? Oh, let me look right there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, come on. Have a seat here. Continuing, so funding, as I mentioned, so lots of students, that money, they're working, they're trying to juggle, and some say, you know what, I wish I would have just saved the money first before I tried to juggle trying to work and going to school. Do you have the English transcript or proof of proficiency? Okay. Are you able to work in a crowded, noisy, busy environment? Because you're going to hear sights and sounds and smells and all of this. It's a hustle and bustle kind of environment at times, not all the time, but at times, okay? Are you comfortable working with people from a variety of cultures, backgrounds, and religions? So that means you can say, yeah, I'm comfortable, but we take you that step further. Are you able to do what we call, are you able to be humble about it, want to step in and learn about them? Because it's individualized care, right? So you want to be able to work with all kinds of backgrounds, with staff and with clients and patients. Do you respond positively to constructive feedback? So as a student, because your instructors are working with you so hands-on, you're really in there, there's lots of times where we have to give you some feedback on how to improve, so you can give safe care to your residents, compassionate care to your residents, respectful care, okay? So are you able to hear a whisper or soft beeping or a telephone ringing? So there's a lot of sensory that you have to use, observations with your eyes, with your ears, your listening, active listening, so all of these skills are what healthcare aides need to do. So what do you need to be successful? Well, you have to enjoy working with people. In particular, we sometimes have an elderly population, but not all of your people will be elderly. Some of them are, but you can have patients as young as 20, 30, 40 years old working on your unit. Can you work well as a team member? So sometimes you're alone in the room working with your client, but you are still part of that team. And actually your client is part of the team as well. Are you available for full-time to complete the clinical placement? And then I just mentioned you can have a day shift, evening shift. We don't typically have night shifts for healthcare aides, So it's either the day or the evening. Nights is like midnight to 7 a.m. If you're depending which delivery you're signing up, you might have labs on the weekends. And are you willing to travel up to 100 kilometers for your clinical in the sites? Depends what program you're interested in, or what delivery you're interested in. Okay, also, are you able to dedicate that 40 to 50 hours per week, like all together if you're full-time? Okay, so it's not just coming for a 3-hour class and then you're good to go. You actually have to spend time at home reviewing, going through your learner guide, reading your textbook, reviewing, preparing for lab. There's lots of things that you need to read before you come to lab to make sure that you understand the skills that way. Oops. Yeah, okay. I mentioned immunizations, so that's part of your extra money that you have to pay. So it includes your hepatitis shots, your chicken pox, your measles, mumps, rubella. You need two COVID doses recommended. These are mandatory, but these are recommended. However, if you go to a site where there is an outbreak, they will ask for that, and if you don't have it, then they won't allow you on their site, okay? So it is up to the site on this COVID vaccination. You will need your TB testing. If you happen to be exposed, then you have to go for another test, another x-ray and such. And so this is what students call their to-do list. So when you enroll, you'll have a list of things you need to get done, and there is a date you need to get them done by. So that once you have them set up, then we say, okay, you're ready to be placed at a clinical site. Okay? I mentioned the police information check. It should be clear without previous charges. It needs to be 90 days before you start your clinical. Now, once you are in the program, you don't have to get it again. Once you're in the program and you've continued as a student, then you don't need to get your another police information check. Okay. If you do have something on your police information check that is unclear yet, then you can talk to our healthcare aid program chair. Sometimes even students have unclear, we might even have to talk to the site that would allow you to work at their site. It depends on what that is. So any questions, you can direct them to info@norquest.ca or healthcareaid@norquest.ca. You can find a lot of information on our website. We welcome you. If you're just thinking about it today, or maybe somebody else in your family, or file it, remember us, come visit our booth, come visit our lab upstairs, check out the Olson Center lab across the room. Maybe we will take questions online. Are there any questions that came up? Those of you
Olson Center. Ito pala. Ito practical nurse sub. Yun. Oh, okay. Okay, that's the healthcare aid lab. Okay. This where you're gonna. Yan yung mga ano pala. Yan. Eh, may at least ano, for sure yung ano. Yung tayo. Malas nga. So Parang nasa hospital ka rin eh.
Yeah, you also planning to enroll in the healthcare program? Good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm one of the full-time lab instructors, so if you are planning, you will see me around. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Ayan. Learning. So,
Because they said that's where you buy your books and stuff.
kaya mo na yan. I-figure out na lang siya rin. Kuya tayo?
I want to see it.
Unless our baby in a stroller.
Di ba doon tayo? Ito.